Then arch back, tuck your tailbone underneath, fists together, curl forward. Right, so we're loosening up in this axis, forward and backward, forward. And the last one, we're going to do a twist. So let your arms sweep up, look over your fingertips, come down, shift the weight over to the opposite side leg, and again, gaze over your fingertips. From the waist up turns, from the waist down does not turn, so you don't want to put any torsion into your knee or anything like that. Allow yourself to twist, the spine to twist. Very important functional movement, right? When you're driving, you got to look behind you. All right, good. All right, now.
When we're doing all these moves, should our knees be, what position should our knees be?
Knees always are called soft. So let's feel the difference of that, and then we'll do the start. So here is locked, right? And we can do that from time to time. We tend to do that. Might not even notice that we're doing it, and then we're doing it. And that is what we don't want to do. So all the joints we want to be soft. So we just put a little bend in them. And when you bend your knees, you're going to feel yourself like it's like you're sitting down. And that's the feeling you want to get. Right? And this also, you're going to feel right here into your thigh muscles will automatically be bearing more of the load of your weight. And that's what you want. And it makes your muscles, these big muscles, stronger, which is important for all kinds of functional movement, walking, all that stuff. Right, so let's lock them. Feel how that feels. And then bend them, soften them, drop the tailbone down. Right, so that's good. All right, let's put our feet together. We'll do an opening. I'd like to do an opening in practice to make an actual change to that we're going to practice Tai Chi and Qigong. So stepping out to the side, same time arms lift up, holding like a balloon against your chest. Rest, the elbows are heavy. And then let the palms come down to the side. Readjust your feet a little bit. And then we go through our 3 treasures each time when we start a practice, as a reminder that we're going to carry this through everything that we do. 3 treasures goes with everything that we do. So let's start with the aligning the body. Feel your feet on the floor, your connection to the earth, and you can move that forward, backward, side to side so that the weight is even on each foot. So make that adjustment, and we go through all the major joints of the body to realign them, adjust them, starting with the ankles, releasing any tension that you're holding in the ankles. It actually will feel like your weight is dropping down into the ground. And then come to the knees, again soften the knees, nice bend in the knees. And then we're going to do this pelvis thing, which is very important, subtle, but super important. So we want to tip the pelvis up like it's a bowl. And the bowl, it's holding, traditional saying is holding fruit. And that's like holding our organs. So you tip the pelvis up a little bit, tailbone goes down, knees are bent. And the lower vertebrae of our back are now lengthened out. So that's an important thing. Coming to the shoulders, space under the arms. Feel that space, and then feel the weight of your arms. And when I do that, as soon as I even say that, my shoulders start to relax down more. Now moving up, we're going to lengthen up to the top of the head. Today, let's do it by taking our index finger, push gently on your chin, and your head top is going to go up, because now your head will be more aligned with the rest of your spine. Let's do that. Coming into that position, and just try to stay in that position. I find this to be the hardest part, is to keep the head top up, because I just, I'm putting my head forward all the time. So every time you notice it, just make that subtle adjustment. Okay, moving to the breathing. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Breathing lightly, slowly, and deeply. Lightly implies that we just want to be using the right amount of air for our current metabolic needs. Too much, taking in too much air is just like eating too much food. It has all the actual negative side effects of eating too much food. You can't properly utilize it and cause a lot of health problems. Same thing with breathing. When we're playing tennis and we're really working up a good sweat, you're going to use a lot more air. But when we're doing things quietly like we are now, we use very little air, just enough for our metabolic needs, and that's what helps us be centered and to just experience greater health. So that's light breathing. Slow breathing is around 6 breaths a minute. Normally we breathe 14, 15, maybe even 20 breaths a minute. Slowing the breathing down puts us in the zone of restoration. It actually changes our physiology, and that will naturally happen as we move slowly and breathe. Our breathing will go with the movement and vice versa, so they both support each other. So we're going to aim for that as we practice, around 6 breaths a minute, which we're very easy to get to as we go through the practice. Then breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. And deeply, you want to, let's put our hands on the low, find your low rib on each side of your body. Rest your hands there. Breathe in. If you're using your diaphragm, when you breathe in, you'll feel your rib cage expanding right at that low rib. And then exhaling, the rib cage will contract. It's really the whole abdomen is expanding because the diaphragm is pushing down as we breathe in. So it's not only your abdomen, it's your sides and your back are all expanding as we breathe in. This is a good way to check. Sometimes we just get into funny breathing patterns. And you can check that you're recruiting your diaphragm by just resting on this, rest your hands on this low rib and just breathe and feel the connection there. All right, hands down to the side, and now we turn our attention to our awareness, letting go of all the complexity of life that we may be experiencing or experienced yesterday, today, whatever. Just let that go for a time and just be present to the breath, present to the sensations in our body. So let's stay that way for a moment, aligning, breathing, being present. gently move, shift your weight from foot to foot. And we'll go into the first form, which is discover. So breathing in, arms expand, body expands, joints all expand open, exhale, contract as the palms come together. Go at your own pace, wherever it feels right for your breath rate, really. We're connecting up our breath rate with the movement, with a simple, super simple movement. But that's really what Qigong is all about, is harmonizing our breathing with our movement. One reinforces the other in a very health-enhancing way. Awareness in this form, rest, let it rest in your palms. So breathe in, expand, exhale, contract. If you like, you can think about you're holding a balloon that's expanding and stays in your palms. And then as you exhale, the balloon contracts down. Each cycle, we relax a little bit more. You're probably going to notice that, as we're standing here, right, there's dynamic changes to your alignment, and that's what we need to be paying attention to on some level, making those adjustments so that we're staying comfortable and aligned at the same time that we're moving and breathing. And palms down to the side. Just rest for a minute, scanning. So we all notice that, right? That just to stand there's a lot going on just to stand still, right? You feel something is moving a little bit, or I have to make these micro moves, they're called micro adjustments that we make to relieve some stress, tension, discomfort, whatever it is. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is every time we can create that more comfortable feeling inside, that is the flow of energy that's going through the body, right? So that's what that's what Qigong is all about. Okay, next one that we're going to do is gathering earth and sky. So we have a wider stance. Wider stance, toes can be out if that makes your knees and hips feel better. You have to experiment, see what's right for you. And we're going to sit down, squat down, pick up the earth, into the heart center, exhale, pick up the sky. As we gather, we can be grateful that we have access to whatever resources that we need, the things of the earth that nourish our physical being, things of the sky that nourish our mind and spirit. They are available and accessible to calm. Reaching down, gathering the water that nourishes and restores. Reaching up, gathering in fire that inspires and leads and moves us in what we need to do, our purpose. Let's do one, last one. Slowly feeling, being present. Coming back to shoulder width, hands at the side. Scanning inside, feeling. And look for each form can feel a little different after you do it because it's moving the stuff inside, the energy, the function, it's moving it differently, so it's going to might feel differently. So just pay attention, be aware of that. All right, let's pivot one foot, this outside foot, take one step forward, front stance. We're going to be shifting our weight in this one, actually rocking our weight. So shift forward, lift the heel, shift back, lift the toe. So this is the movement here. Making sure when you shift your weight forward, watching how far your knee is going. You don't want your knee to go past your toes on the front. Sit down as you shift the weight forward. Okay, let's do the form now. Circling in, and back is flat. And tracing down the leg, lifting the toe on the front leg. Trace up, come forward, exhale out, lift the heel on the back foot. Inner rivers flowing, beautiful name. Attending to all the meridians on one side of the body, and then we'll of course practice on the other side. Getting rid of stagnancy, blockage, allowing the flow to just go through. Good, great, everybody's got it down. Pivot, step. Do a couple of rocks just to feel it. Lift up, lift the heel, lift the toe. Good. Okay, bring the form in, circle in, tracing down, tracing up, coming forward. Let's do one more. Tracing down. Coming back to center. Adjusting your alignment. All right. Next one's purify, and also we're do the tendon changing, which is a fun thing, nice to do for keep ourselves nice and fit. But first the purify. So anytime in Qigong that we breathe in and then we're going to use some kind of muscular strength, body strength, not so much isolated, but body strength, exhaling out. That motion breathing in, exhaling out, using the strength of our body. That's thought to create a purifying action inside from head to toe. All right, so let's do that. So breathe in, and then pushing out. It's like you're feeling resistance in your arms. You're pushing against something. Breathe in, push up, right to the top. Push forward, and push down. It's like we're filling ourselves with fresh, pure air, and then it's like we're wringing out any toxins or impurities that are going into being carried away by the lymph system, and then carried out of the body. Breathe in, push, feel resistance. Breathe in, relax, push down, feel resistance. Forward and down. All right. Good. We'll wiggle around a little bit because we've been standing a lot. So, right, tendon changing, which we did last week, we'll do again this week, and we're going to do the legs this week too. But, you know, just a little point of anatomy. The fascia has become a big deal in medicine. Used to be, I guess many years ago, used to be ignored, but people, they're coming to see a real wisdom in how the fascia works, right? It's very important. And there's even thought that the meridian system that is in Chinese medicine runs through the fascia. So what is the fascia? It's kind of like if we could, you know, we're in peeling back the layers of our skin and all that stuff, which is kind of gross, but inside there's this stuff that's like saran wrap, covers everything. Muscles, nerves, blood vessels, tendons, everything is wrapped in this fascia. And in this fascia there's carries fluids, and also it's thought that it might be that the meridian systems go through that. So what we want to do, long and short, is we want to exercise the fascia for our, particularly around our shoulders, elbows, wrists, right in the upper body, across the chest. So that's what we're going to do first. So we do that just like we were doing. Do the same form. Push out. Now breathe in, palms face to the floor, and then we're going to exhale out. Pinky's going to point behind your body. Big stretch, you feel it right across your chest. Then breathe in, exhale out, thumbs point back to you. Big stretch on your shoulders, you should feel that. Put your fingers together, this is bird beaks, breathe in, and then exhale out. Feel the stretch right over, down your arm, and across your wrist. Right, so let's do that one again. Pinkies away, thumbs point to you, bird beaks down. Good. Now we go up, over the top of the head, palms face away, pinkies point outward, breathe in, thumbs point down, breathe in, make bird beaks like you're hooking a ladder across some bar on the top or something. Okay, forward, push forward, palms face the floor, pinkies away, thumbs point back to you, bird beaks, out straight, down. Now, as you breathe in, let your arms come up and then spiral them back so your pinkies point behind you. Feel a really good stretch across your chest and shoulders. Breathe in, put the thumbs twist or spiral behind. Thumbs go behind, so it goes the opposite way. Breathe in, bird beaks go up. All right, so that's the pattern. Let's do a couple through. 1, 2, 3, bird beaks. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs down. Forward. 1. Pinkies away. comes to you. Perfect step. Twisting or spiraling back behind. Spiral forward, thumbs behind. Perfect step. Okay, how's that feel? Good? Stretched, right? Good. I think everybody's got that pretty good. I'll make one little adjustment here. Okay, got to keep an eye on the clock. All right, so let's go to this. You want to use, it's helpful to use something to support. So just grab on anywhere, a chair, anything's good, just a table, anything that you need like that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is you're going to take one foot, let's take the outer foot, and you're going to point your toe. Point your toe. Breathe in, bend your knee, point your heel. And now it gets a little goofy now. Breathe in, the outer edge tips up, inner edge tips up. So again, we're moving all the connective tissue, particularly around our hip in every direction. Okay, if that wasn't bad enough, now we're going to do it to the side. Point your toe, point your heel, outer edge up, inner edge up. Now behind you, point your toe, point your heel, inner edge up, or outer edge up, inner edge up. All right. Go to the other side, other foot. Forward, point toe, point heel, outer edge up, inner edge up. To the side, toe, heel, outer, inner. Toe, heel, outer, inner. Right, so it takes a little bit to.
Really famous?
I'm telling you, it's really good for your hips. It takes a minute to get. Let's do one more easily, right? And if any of this, like anything we do, if it feels like it's too much, just stop and rest. Toe, heel, and outer. I know the outer and the inner are tough. Side, toe, heel, outer, inner. Toe, heel, outer, inner. Okay, one last one. You can grit it through. Grit it through gently. Always gently. Outer, inner. Toe, heel, outer, inner. Toe, heel, outer, inner. Right? So yeah, it's like, it feels like, what am I doing? But if you keep playing with it, you'll get it. And you'll gain flexibility. Right? And you're going to gain flexibility in this part of the anatomy. And that part of the anatomy is really important for walking. Everything we do, so much functional movement. So, think of it as we're taking all that stuff, that fascia, and when it doesn't move, what happens is as we get older, like it stops gliding. Normally when it's healthy, young, and there's plenty of fluid going through, it glides, it slides. But what happens as we get older, it gets more fixed, like everything else, not moving. So by doing this, we can regain flexibility. All right, so try it if you like it. It is like soccer movements. Yeah, if you watch, that's great, Joe. I mean, if you watch these guys, you watch the World Cup, which I'm a fanatic for watching the World Cup. You watch them warm up. They do all these functional movements that are very similar to this. So that's good. All right, let's move on to the next one. So that was little tendon changing plus purify. Now we're going to do direct. Done this one before, so we'll do it. It's a good one to do after what we just did, because we were smoothing everything out. All right. Gently over your face, under the arm, over, fold in, down. Gently by the face. Hold it. Okay, now we'll skip the second one, but go about an inch off your body. And now it's time to use again, your focus, your, excuse me, awareness. Feel the connection from your palms to your body as you go through the pattern of tracing the meridians. It's like you're directing the flow through the body. It's always happening, but by bringing our awareness to it and our attention to it, it enhances the flow. This form in particular, it's like giving yourself it's like a total body acupuncture, right? That's really what we're doing. We're doing the same thing that you pay somebody to do acupuncture for you. You can do yourself by tracing these meridians. We're going to do without the arms here. We'll do a couple just right through. Up the inner yin channel, over the abdomen, up over the head. And yang channels on the outside. Last one. Okay. And taking a moment again, just to feel. Great. All right, so we have one, we did last week 2 conserve, so remember we'll do that again, cloud hands. And so let's do that. We'll do it facing you. We'll come over here, make the ball over here. Just follow me like you're in a mirror. Top hand goes down, at the same time lower hand comes up. Palms face you. Shift your weight over to the building side. Turn, change, up or down, lower up. Shift the weight, turn, change, elbows down, shift the weight, turn, change. Great. This is our mini course Tai Chi. This is kind of the logo of Tai Chi is cloud hands. Every family has cloud hands. Every principle is in cloud hands. So it's a wonderful form. In this set, the form is named conserving. We're conserving energy. Conserving our energy. And we can have an intention that how little energy can we use to complete the form? That happens when every part of the body is working together. Right, you'll notice that your arms are doing a lot of movement, but you're not moving your arms independently. Right? Particularly as we carry the cloud across, arms are moving because you're shifting your weight and turning your waist. your elbows be what are called heavy elbows. Your elbows are pointing towards the floor. That will help relax your shoulders down. Relax your muscles. All right, that's conserving. Conserving our inner resources. That's a good thing to do, right? Got to make it for the long race. Right, good. All right, so I'll just pause a little bit. I'm going to just talk a little bit before we go on to the next section. This set of Qigong is very, very special in my understanding of things because it's broken down. There's 9 forms. We've gone through most of them, but we got a couple more to do. But it's designed so that we do what's called body Qigong. In the Chinese, that's called Jing. We're nourishing the Jing, or our physical form. And then we do, in the second 3, which today was the purify, direct, conserve, that's mind. You know, we're using our intention to do a specific thing, right? We're going to direct the qi through, we're moving to conserve. Those are specific intentions, so that's mind, directed Qigong or cultivation. And then the last 3 are spirit, right? So spirit, I know, it's like a touchy subject, right? Or it's a, you know, you never talk about, don't talk about religion or anything like that. So I won't talk about religion. But what I do have, though, is I do have a reading that I think in some ways kind of sums up the whole direction of the spirit part. And this is actually, it's not Taoist, it's not Buddhist, it's actually, this is a Sufi, right, which is the mystical branch of Islam. Right, so I'll just read this, and I think it kind of sums up what we're aiming for in the practice. So, whoever makes all cares into a single care, the care for simply being present, will be relieved from all cares by that presence, which is a reflection of spirit. We can take a step back from the world of attraction, comparison, and dependence on externals, remember this vitality within us, and connect with it. Perhaps then we will be liberated from our compulsions, and we can learn to act through spirit rather than through our limited egos. In remembering presence becomes, if remembering presence becomes our single care, then we will waste less of our inner energy. Right? So I really like that. So we have a single kind of care and focus, and it's just to be present. Right? So that's how we'll kind of, the overview of how we'll practice the last 3 forms. Right?
What is that book, David?
This book is Living Presence by Kabir Helminski, and he is the lineage holder for Rumi. Everybody's heard of Rumi, right? So it's really, it's great stuff. You know, I like that. I like our own Christian contemplative traditions. I like all kinds of stuff. So it's all good. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, it's called Restore. Very simple to do. So we're just going to reach out. I think we've done it before. And it's a gesture of gathering in and then exhaling down. Breathe in. Now I'll give a little background of this particular form, which comes from a type of Qigong called marrow washing. Marrow is the core, right? The core of our bones. It's like in there is a factory for producing blood cells as well as immune cell function. So it's very precious to our health and vitality. And this form was, the idea of this form was that we would wash the marrow down. as the palms pass through, purifying our production of blood and immune cells. What a cool idea. As a meditation, we can think of it as we are just restoring our connection to the divine, however we understand that to be. Bathing ourselves in presence. Palms down to the side. All right. Next practice is lots of different practices connected in this one, but it's called transform or transformation. And at least in my understanding of these things, transformation is a pure gift that's available to each of us as we connect with that source. Right? So, but it is a gift. So the form that goes with it, there's lots of different ones. We'll do a simple one today. What we want to do is bring our palms like this, like about 1 foot apart, and we're going to move them in a circular pattern. So the pattern's going to be breathe in, bring the circle in towards your body, exhale down, dropping down. Notice that this particular pattern is very similar to what we were just doing. Right? So it's in, this is the direction of gathering. Dropping down, breathing in. Keep the hands as still as possible and connected. Again, about 1 foot apart. Feeling the connection between the palms. Simply open to the gift transformation. And as we come to the bottom of the circle, we're going to reverse direction. Now the circle comes in close to the body as you breathe in, lengthen up, and then exhale out, drops out in front of you. Movement of a circle, of course, implies there's a process there that happens. Each of us is finding our process, finding our way. Many steps along the circle. Exhale down. Okay, the final form in the 9 is it's called, well, I call it just presence. So there are so many different kinds of meditation systems, right? We're gonna do a Qigong meditation, a Taoist meditation, very simple, just be present, and we're just gonna stand, hands at the side, and we're just gonna stand and rest in presence for a few moments. Shifting your weight to the right foot. Put your weight down in your right foot at the same time. Raise your arms up. Bring your left foot in together. Breath comes in, exhaling out as the palms pass by your body. One last time. Okay. Good job, everybody.
Lovely.
Yeah, beautiful. Appreciate everybody's joining in the stillness, right? That was really wonderful, beautiful.
You never do that. That's really great. 'Cause
Good job.
I don't do enough of it.
Yeah, that's great.
Wonderful class.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Another